are some pointers to share related to gaps in employment if the truth is you are not just landing the jobs you are going for. So it's you can explain anything in the interview if you get there. I mean, that's the thing. If you can get to the interview, your resume gets you the interview. Your interview skills land you the job. If you once you get on the interview, you can explain your gaps away. You know, it's hard. You can't explain that on a resume because an HR person is not reading that hard and they're not reading that long. So on your resume, you just want to try to highlight. Again, it's a snapshot. Your resume can just needs to be tailored to the position that you're going for. Highlight that information. So I don't want people to overthink a resume. And I think a lot of people do. A lot of people overthink what a resume should be. It should be your contact information should be updated. So a professional email address, your phone number that works, that has a voicemail that's set up. So if they call you and leave a voicemail, it's set up. So email, professional, contact information. You don't even have to you don't even have to put your full address, but put the city and state. And the reason why I say that is because if I'm trying to hire somebody who lives in Atlanta, and you may live in Atlanta, but I don't know that because you didn't put an address on there, I'm not going to pick you. So don't eliminate yourself off of small things. So you can put the city, state, email address, professional, phone number that works, that's updated with a voicemail saved, your education, your education. Now, for your education, if you went to multiple colleges but only finished one, then I only need to see that last one that you finished. Because you don't need to say, I went here for a year, and then this place for a year, and then that place for a year. If you didn't finish at all, list the last one that you attended, the major, your major, because if you didn't get a degree from there, list the major, and move on. A lot of people will put all this information on a resume, and it just bogs it down. So your education and then your experience. What experience do you have? Not I worked at Rocket Employment from January 2020 to January 2021. What'd you do there? List those skills, especially if it relates to the job you're going after. So list your skills like in a skills section. List those, and at the bottom, then you can put your dates of employment. A resume is a snapshot. That's why I keep saying that the job that you're going after, look at those job descriptions because you need those words on your resume in order to get the person's attention. I don't want people to overthink the resume because you're going to be spending a lot more time on it than the person looking at it. They're going to look at it if there's no errors. If there's errors that stand out that are big, because you don't want errors on a resume, but they're not going to be that choosy. Looking for the education, check, she got that. Looking for the experience, check that. Move the pile over here. I'm going to call her in for an interview. Next one, same thing. Okay, so if you have a lot of jobs, if you have gaps, you want to fix those gaps by putting in, not fix those gaps, but you don't want to highlight those gaps. Put that at the bottom, put your employment history at the bottom, and then list. The other thing too that I would like to add, on your employment history, please put the city that you worked in, because it gets confusing if you just put Rocket Employment. Where's Rocket Employment? Is it in Florida? Is it in California? I mean, where is it? Because if you're applying for a job in Georgia and there's only one Rocket Employment in Georgia, then yes. But if there's Rocket Employment in Georgia and Florida and North Carolina, then I don't know what that means. So make sure that you put the city and state of the company that you work for. What is the best course of action if you will not be able to make it to an interview that was planned in advance because of poor time management on your part? I don't know what to say to that. I've set interviews up and had people not show up. And I've also had people call and said they were going to be late. I do appreciate the people who at least call and say they're going to be late, then not show up at all, but call and say they're going to be late, or can they reschedule? Being late for me is better than rescheduling. For me, that's just my preference. And being late for me is 10 minutes. The most I would have time for would probably be 30 minutes. That's just me. That's just one HR person's opinion. Then to reschedule. The only way I would want to reschedule is if I don't have any more time that day and I reschedule. Now, if I'm interviewing back to back to back and I've already had 6 good candidates, I'm not gonna reschedule with you because I'm just gonna pick one of the 6 and just too bad, too sad. But if you're my only interview that day, then I would reschedule. But I would note that. You note when people are late. You have to interview really, really well to get past that. Because if you're late to the interview, especially if it's your fault, then you're gonna be late for work. Now, I hope, I'm not telling I don't want anybody to lie. I don't want you to call and say, I'm gonna be late because I overslept or I miscalculated my time. I didn't leave the house soon enough, because that definitely won't help you. I wouldn't even reschedule. I'd be like, well, it's pointless because you don't know how to manage your time. So if you call and say, I'm going to be a few minutes late, I'm going to be 10 minutes late, is that okay? I want to call and let you know, I am en route, but I am going to be 10 minutes late. Now, I'm 10 minutes late because I left the house late. I didn't say that. I'm going to be 10 minutes late. That is what I would say. And is that okay? Can we still interview, or did you want to reschedule? That's what you want to say to people.